Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we are back again working on the Ridge, working on our solar off-grid project. Today, a huge milestone. The last component gets installed in the power shed. Let's do this. Oh, it broke. Oh, I broke that. You know, Tim, he's got to have everything a little bit extra. All right. All right, through the other side. Booyah. Clean that up. Hopefully that fit. Got my, put that over there. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. Okay, that was the 1/2 inch. I got to get the 3/4 inch out now. That looks good. Now the generator, I just got to put the generator right into there, and it's weather tight when it's not in use. I like it. Perfect. All right, clean it up. Oh, guys, that looks amazing. That's the problem. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. When we were here last on the Ridge, you saw me install this EG4 power station. Check this out, guys. 50 amp, 30 amp, and GFCI, all right here on the back side of the power shed. We've got our camper temporary living area right here. We got this awesome fire pit. Got some chickens in the background over there. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Right there is where we're building our off-grid barn house. Materials staged right there. That's coming soon, but first, we got to finish this solar project. And it is getting close, guys. Again, the last component to be installed inside the power shed. Once we get that done, we'll have to dig trenches and reconfigure all the solar. Right now, I've got temporary wires going into this tent here to some temporary solar generators, but eventually I'll have to rewire all this to go for use in here in the power shed. So we come in here, we can see last time we ran this big conduit, 2-inch conduit right there to our DC bus bars, and but today, the last component. Guys, check this out. Chargeverter by EG4. 100 amp AC charger for our 48 volt EG4 LLS batteries. We've got 12 of them here. Guys, that's like 61,000 watt hours. 61,000 watt hours. That's crazy, guys. And this will charge at 100 amp capacity from our generator, but the generator's outside. How are we going to get this Chargeverter to charge these batteries when it's in here? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We have lots of components to install. So first, we got to get this Chargeverter mounted in here. Where do I want it? I think I'm going to mount it down there in that big open space. But it being basically a DC to AC inverter, Chargeverter, like these right here, I got these on cement backer board or hardy board, painted white. I need to put some of that down there to make it flame retardant as well. We'll get this mounted on it. Then we've got to get power from outside. Can't wait to show you what I'm going to do there. This is what we're going to use to get that generator power from outside to inside. Outside, we're going to install this awesome 30 amp receptacle. And you can see it is a male, right? Because on the generator side, you'll plug male into the generator and have a female. Well, that female will plug into here and provide power to the power shed, but just to the Chargeverter. And it goes just to the Chargeverter through this box here I'll install inside the shed with this 30 amp female receptacle right there. Again, this is a 30 amp. And then from here, it will go to the Chargeverter. And I'll show you what comes inside the Chargeverter box now. Let's see what's in the box. Flip it on its side. All right, first thing I see, this is the cable. Guys, this is the cable that's going to be used inside here at the power shed here. This end plugs into the Chargeverter. This end will plug into that female receptacle. I'll show you in a minute where we're going to install that. So there's the 240 volt or 120 volt. We're going to be using 240 volt and at 30 amps. That's right. And it's 100 amps on the DC side. So I'm trying to think, it's 5,000 watts sustained. I got a 7,500 watt generator. I've also got a 5,000 watt generator, but that'll be maxing it out. But we got some mounting brackets, which we'll use. Okay, these are the DC cables. They are quick connect. You can see they quick connect right here onto the Chargeverter, and then I've got lugs to go to my DC bus. Again, last week y'all saw those boxes for the DC bus. So let me set those off over there. And then here, oh, got some communication cables and programming cables. Very, very important to keep track of that. And of course we've got, well, if I can get my finger out, the quick start guide. Might need this. Because God, this thing is super high tech. This is not just a charge controller for your batteries from your generator. This thing will actually look at the state of charge through communications of your batteries, or you can make it just look at the state of voltage of your batteries. If, say, your inverters are doing the main communications to your batteries, then of course this can't do that as well. So you'll just have it monitor the voltage, and you can have it start and stop your generator if you want. You know, your inverters can do that, or if you just want the Chargeverter and not have the inverters, Chargeverter can do that as well. So let's get this out. Oh, it's Christmas time on the Ridge. And this is not a paid advertisement either, guys. I am sponsored by EG4, by Signature Solar. That's who I get my solar components from Signature Solar. But I am not a paid sponsor from EG4 or Signature Solar. I am an affiliate. So if you do buy something from a link I leave down below, you pay nothing extra. Matter of fact, with my discount code in the comment and the description, you can get $50 off your order at Signature Solar. But you pay nothing extra, and again, I'm not paid by the company, but I do get an affiliate commission if you buy something. Don't have to buy nothing, just watch the video and enjoy. Enjoy the show. So let's get this off here. Oh, guys, I am so excited. I am so excited. Look at this. Look at this. Da, da, da. It's like Vanna White. I'm gonna go. Oh. Hey, y'all remember Robert Conrad and the battery on his shoulder? I think it was that Duracell. I dare you, knock this off my shoulder. He was a tough guy. Remember Robert Conrad? Hogan's Heroes, guys, come on. But yeah, this thing has a built-in breaker, LCD display controls. There's where the DC connects, your communications. Right there's where the AC connects. So we will get this installed today. Let's see how we're gonna get everything mounted up down over there. So if we mount the Chargeverter on a piece of hardy board right here under the #1 inverter, what we can do is mount this 30 amp with the box right here. Now I want to make sure that on the outside it's between the battens, so I'll have to verify, you know, where exactly it needs to go for that. But then the cable can come straight out of there into there, and then on the outside, straight through the wall, we'll mount this watertight female box. I think this is gonna work perfectly. First thing I need to do is get the hardy board cut, mounted, and painted. That way we can be letting that dry while we're drilling all the holes and mounting all the other equipment. So how big a piece of hardy board do I need? Well, let's see. This unit is from connector to connector 15 inches long. Now I want to mount it down there, have the hardy board screwed into the studs, which studs are 16 on center and probably a couple inches over on each end. So 16, 17, 18, till 20. So we want to be 20 inches long, and that also gives a fire protection, you know, about 3 or 4 inches on either side. I think that. So let's go 20 inches long, and then high. This thing is only 5. The brackets are 7. So if this is 5, we go 2 inches either side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we go 9 inches, let's go 10 inches. Let's say 10, 20 by 10. Now let's go down here and see if that works. So I got this unit strut right here, so I'm gonna go basically straight under here. So the distance between the unit strut is, let's see, the distance between the unit strut is 11 inches. So 10 inches is fine there. And then 20 inches here, be about right there. So yeah, so I'll put a piece of hardy board 10 inches by 20 inches right there. Got a piece of hardy board back here. Oh, it is a windy, windy day, guys. Windy, windy. All right. So I kind of changed my mind a little bit. 22 by 9 3/4. Let me write this down. 22 by 9 3/4. There was one bracket on a piece of conduit hanger that would have been in the way if I'd done 10 inches. So 9 3/4 puts it in there perfectly. And then 22 gives me a little bit more, because the way the connectors are at the end, if there's a fire, it's going to blow out the end probably. And that gives me a couple more inches of flame retardants on either side of it. So 22 and 9 3/4. So I'm going to use this tape measure. 9 3/4. 9 3/4. Woo, it is windy. 9 3/4. 9 3/4. 9 3/4. And I said what? 22. 22. Be right there. Ooh, that sun keeps going out. 22. Make sure. 22. All right. Let's go ahead and put this on here. And right there. All right, so that's the piece I need. I've got a little problem in that my circular saw is over at Meredith's for the barn build. So I read that you can score hardy board and snap it. Y'all ever heard of that? Now I do have a jigsaw. I don't have a concrete blade. I don't have any kind of concrete blades right now. I got a giant concrete saw from Vivor I get to use here later on, cutting my cinder blocks out on my foundation for my HVAC pass-through. But I'm gonna try this, see if I can snap this off and then snap this off. I've got a bunch. This is really all I need out of this hardy board. I mean, I want to save this if I can, but if I don't, this will be a learning process for you and me both, okay? A lot of you are screaming at the camera right now, Tim, don't do it, you're gonna mess it up. I got a few more pieces just in case. So, all right, let me try to score it here. Stay on the line, Tim. Stay on the line. It's hard. Might do this a couple times. Get a little groove first and then come back. Just gonna do this one first, all the way down. All right, let's do it again. I hope this works. I hope it does. Going a little deeper now. Tim, stay on the line. Stay on the line. It does have sort of a fiber paper cover to it. It's not, I'm kind of curious. You know, it's not like drywall. It's concrete. It's basically concrete. You know, drywall is gypsum, I believe. And I believe this fiber board is concrete fibers. All right. Is this gonna work? Let me get it to the edge. And it's pretty solid right there. Let me get a little bit farther. And moment of truth. Let's do this. Push it down on there. And I'm gonna use my elbows. I'm scared. Here we go. Oh, man, I don't know. Let's see. It worked. Yeah, it worked. It worked. All right, same thing right here. Same thing right here. All the way across. One more time. All right, let's break it. Right on the edge of it. Here we go. Oops. Yeah. That is amazing. Oh, actually, this is the one I want right here. 22 by 9 3/4. That's got a nice edge to it. I'm very happy. Let's go see if it fits. Moment of truth. Does it fit? Ta-da! Oh my gosh, fits perfectly. I'm talking perfectly. Okay, so where is center? So center of the inverter is right on this line right here. So I'm gonna mark this right there. Okay, so that is center. And if I put this right there, oops, there's center. I gotta go, let's see, this thing is, what did I say, 22? Yep, so 11 needs to be on the center. 11, right there. Let me go ahead and mark 11. Right there. So that is center. I need to level here. Level, level, level. Right there is level. Does that look level to you? Yeah, I think that looks level to me. Make sure that goes on there. Yep. Right there. Okay, right there. So I've got these concrete screws. Come on, open up, Tim. There we go. These are hardy board screws. Make sure I'm still level. And I got my stud. I got a stud right here. And I got a stud right here. So let me go ahead and get one right there. These are perfectly made for this. Come on, Tim, get in there. Get in the belly. Make sure that's oh, these are star bit. Do I have my star bit in here? Pretty sure I put it in here. Oh, there it is. Whew. Tim does not come prepared, does he? Actually, I do come pretty prepared. Using my videos, I lay out all my tools and show you exactly what I'm going to use. This time I didn't, and apparently I should have, right? All right. All right, right there, right on that stud. All right, I'm gonna just keep it right there for a second so I can level it out. All right, so now, same thing over here, level this out. Oh yeah, right there, right there. And right here is the stud. Come on, there we go. Not too much, Tim. Not too much. Same thing right here. Sorry for the noise, guys. I know it's loud. I know it's loud. Oh, it broke. Oh, I broke that. Ah, oh, dang it. Well, luckily I got more. All right, let me fix this and I'll be right back. You see, what happened was, all right, so we've got it directly centered up below the inverter. I got it spaced between here and this hanger. The problem with why I cracked that was I had this just sitting on top of the hanger. I stopped this one short and it basically created a fulcrum, and then when I put that screw in, it cracked it. Now guys, it's just a little crack. for fire retardant, the unit is only right here, right? So I'm going to leave that, paint over it. It's just a little crack. It didn't break it completely. I did go ahead and put 2 more concrete backer board screws in. So we've got 6 screws holding it up in studs. And I think that looks good. Now we need to paint it white so it looks like that right there. Get it all nice and pretty white. So let me get the paint out, get that painted, and while that's drying, we can start mounting our boxes. I got my Valspar Flat Interior Express Coat Extra White. You know Tim, he's got to have everything a little bit extra. All right, I pre-shook that up in the other room too, so it should be good to go. Not much, guys, painting. I do not like painting. I painted this Hardy backer board up here, but all this white bead board I got and the ceiling board, I bought white. You know, could have gone with something else, but this one was already white, so I do not like painting. Painting is just one thing I mean, some people love and they find painting cathartic. It's like therapy to them. It makes me want to get therapy, and I don't want therapy. I don't like therapy, so. All right, and you can tell, this is the brush I painted many things with, especially in here. And you can see I had it back in the container I bought it in, and it is super clean. Look at that, guys. What? Super clean. I take care of my stuff, right? If you're doing projects, and if you got money to just throw away your paintbrush, throw away your scraps. I keep my scraps. I keep my paintbrushes, I keep my tools. I don't want them out in the rain getting rusty and everything. No, ain't nobody got time for that. But I do have some paper towels and a rag here in case I drippity, which very good possibility I'm going to drippity. So, because I don't like painting. I don't like spiders and snakes. And that ain't what it takes to love me. I may have to come back with this. If I remember, I did have to do a second coat. Whenever I did now I used a roller on that up there, but this is just a small piece, so I'm not going to use a roller. But I am going to get it on pretty thick. This stuff soaks up pretty good. And again, yep, that's going to look so good. We'll get that Chargeverter mounted. Now, I really don't want that Chargeverter mounted so low here. The thing is, it's not something I'm going to be using very often. Solar should charge the batteries almost all the time. In the event in the wintertime, we had bad sun angle or cloud cover for days and days. I can just crank the generator up, plug it in right there, and charge these batteries up at 100 amp rate. That's some good juice right there. Now, eventually, I'll have a standby generator, propane generator, connected straight on to these 6000 XPs. Then I can have this Chargeverter in case that generator fails, right? Backup plan. Got to have a backup plan. You got to have a primary plan. You got to have a backup. We call it primary, secondary, and tertiary. New word for the day, people, tertiary. It's not primary. It's not secondary. It's tertiary. Now, I do have this unistrut right there I got to be careful of because I don't want to get paint on my unistrut. Who got time for paint on the strut? Not me, not me. But yeah, this is looking good. Guys, I do have some bad news though, and I'm gonna wait till the end of this video to share it. I just got paint on the conduit. See, Tim, this is why I don't like painting. Don't like it. Get it everywhere. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put paper towel over my... Tim, you're an idiot. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I just don't... I like to keep things nice and tidy. Hot toddy! No, toddy. We're Hail State here, guys. Go Dogs. Mississippi State. All right. Get that. That should help my spray here. Guys, I do have some bad news, though. My last video, I ran this conduit. I installed that big V-bore box on the outside of the... I just told you I wasn't going to tell you, didn't I? Yeah, but apparently I am. I ran that EG4 power box on the outside I showed you, and ran this conduit into those boxes over there, which those boxes hold 600 amp DC bus. 2 big bus bars that can carry up to 600 amps each. And I got 1 box for the positive bus bar, 1 box for the negative bus bar. And they're separate boxes, and I'd planned on bringing the positive and negative from the inverters down into each individually, right? So I'll have all the positives in this one, all the negatives in this one. Well, my dad, who is a retired master electrician, said, Tim, did you forget about electromagnetism? You're basically creating a magnet. When you send that 600 amp DC wire through that metal hole all by itself without the opposing field, the positive and the negative, when you send all the negatives through a steel hole and all the positives through a steel hole, you pretty much create an electromagnet. And I went, you know, Dad, I went to nuclear engineering, electrical power generation schools, and you're exactly right. You can create an electromagnet. Now, typically induction happens in AC fields. I know we're getting in the weeds technically here, guys, but I'm painting, and who wants to watch paint dry, right? So we can fast forward through this technical talk and this painting, but basically with DC, you have a large electrical field, and if the field's large enough and the field reverses, you can get eddy currents induced even on DC, and it generates heat. Anytime current, electrons change back and forth, anytime electrons flow, that's what electricity is. Electricity is the flow of electrons. A little bit of Bill Nye the Science Guy here, guys. Electricity is nothing more than electrons flowing, and it's called positive to negative, but really the electrons go from negative to positive. Electrons are negative and they're attracted to positive. So conventional electrical theory is electrons flow from negative to positive. Hole flow is the flow of the holes from left to right, positive, negative. I know, deep, crazy stuff. But in essence, I got to redo all of that whole DC thing. This conduit's got to come out, those boxes got to come out, and I got to redo all that and rethink it. And it's not going to be fun. Might be fun for you to watch, not going to be fun for me to do. But I will get it done. I still ain't figured out exactly what I'm going to do. Here at the end of the video, if you stick around, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in these boxes. And maybe you can give me some pointers if you're an electrician and can do that. All right, I'm going to paint the edges of this off screen. But so far, that looks pretty good. Went ahead and took a quick break and washed my paintbrush off. Got everything cleaned up. No paint on the conduit here or anything. So yeah, and by the way, that crack almost completely disappeared. Almost completely? Yeah, I just made that up. Almost completely disappeared. So this cable here is going to go into the end of the Chargeverter, and then that plug, that big old giant 30 amp plug, will be right there, and I'll just have a little loop tied hanging right there. Put a little hanger on there. So yeah, that should go, this box should go center there. And so what I got to do is I got to measure from there to the edge of the wall all the way so I can know on the outside if it's going to be between the battens. I got lucky with the EG4 power box. So if I have to move this box this way a little bit, I'll be okay. I mean, I prefer to keep it right there. So I'm crossing my fingers right there is where it's going to be okay. And then on this end, we got these battery cables here. And you can see this end plugs in there. I got enough room to go all the way to the top there and then all the way into the boxes. I don't know if I'm going to go up into here, down like that, or straight into the box. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet. It may have to do with how I redo my power bus because, yeah, I told you, I made a huge mistake. All that's got to change. Every bit of it got to. My whole plan of how I was bringing the DC in from here to there, and from these batteries into there. So yeah, okay. So now while that's drying, paint dry, I got to measure, mount this box. Alrighty. Let's see how far across this is. So from the edge of the wall to right where I want that box is 74 inches. 74 inches. So let's go outside, see where 74 inches lines up on that wall. All right, the thickness of this siding here is about 3/4 inch. So there's one piece here, one piece there, that's 1.5 inches. 2x4 plus my interior, let's just say 6 inches. So 74 inches on the inside, 6 inches, that's 80 inches. If I go 80 inches here to here, 80 inches, all right, 80 inches is just this side of the batten. So if I come back an inch off that 74, that box will be right there. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna put this box level with the Chargeverter, which will be right there. And then here's, I want to come back over this way just a little bit to make sure I'm less than that 80 inches outside. So let me make sure that's exactly where I want it. Right there, I do believe will be just fine. I'll mark that. All right. Got a big 1 1/4 inch paddle bit here. No stud behind there, no wires or anything. Make a big old mess. Okay, insulation back here. I'm gonna shove it out of the way so it doesn't get caught up in my bit. All right, now I gotta go all the way through to the other side. Make sure I stay level and straight. All right, right there should be good. All right, through the other side. Get this off there. Woohoo, we got light. All right, so, well, I made a big old mess here, didn't I? Now I just need to do like before when I do the knockout. I just gotta get a 3/4 inch piece of conduit, 2 3/4 inch fittings, dry fitting, not gluing them on, cementing them on just yet. Make sure everything fits, get the boxes mounted up there, and we'll see what it looks like. Conduit fitting should fit right in there. I'm gonna see where the hole is at. Is it in the hole? Okay, right there. It's in the hole. Let me mark this to where this fitting should bottom out, right there. All right, make a quick cut. All right, let's see where my line was. Right there, my line. Come on. Right there. Booyah! Clean that up. Hopefully that fits. Got my eye. All right. Hopefully that fits just right. Let's go find out. Oops. Alrighty. Let's see. Did I do a good job? Get in the hole on the other side. Oh yeah, right there. That is perfect. Now that should hold it while I screw on the receptacle on that side. Just enough sticking out there. And one other good thing, you know, I moved it this way a little bit to make sure I was between the battens. What it really did for me is if I put it over there closer, I wouldn't be able to turn this to tighten it. I'd have to tighten it from the other side behind, or tighten it on here and stick it through, which I could do. I could do that. But what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and turn this on here. Oh yeah. And that should pull itself together. Get it level. Look at that. That looks amazing. I'll make sure it's level. Get the plugs in it, get the receptacle on this side, get some screws in right there. But first, let's go ahead and get the other box. I gotta do a knockout and get it mounted to the other side. Get that one on, then we'll come back and finish up in here. Got my outdoor box here. Going to get the cover off. And I got a lot of these components on Amazon. Signature Solar is who I get most of my solar equipment, all my EG4 stuff comes from Signature Solar. But a lot of these components here I get from Amazon and Lowe's. So where I can, I'll put links in the description for each of the components you see in my videos. Not like the little fittings and stuff, but because you can get those at any big box hardware store. But these unique things like this, I'll make sure I put a link down in the description so you can get one of these. So let's get this. See, there's the receptacle right there. Now I got to get this knockout out of the back. So let me hold that over there. Let's see here. Let me just put this in my vise. Don't want to scratch. It's just the back of it. I can scratch the back of it. All right. Let's see here. How about a hammer? How about a hammer? Oh, wrong screwdriver. No wonder. Put that over there. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. Okay, that was the 1/2 inch. I got to get the 3/4 inch out now. There we go. Pop. Pop goes the weasel. There we are. There we are. Let's see. Will 3/4 inch fit? Booyah, it does. All right, so now we can take this. Get it off here. We can take this out to the outside and see how it fits. Let's go. All right. Will this fit between there and there? Oh, it's going to be scary. I love it when a plan comes together. You know what I'm saying? All right, get that off of there. Get the lock nut on there. See if you, hopefully you can see that. Slide that on there. Again, don't forget, I am coming back. PVC cement, all the conduit, also silicone the holes. You know, all the boxes I put on the outside here, I'm gonna silicone around here. I'll pull the PVC out, cement everything together, put it back in, put the nuts on, put the silicone in, put the nuts back on. I want everything to be watertight. Watertight. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I gotta put the screws in, so let me go ahead and get the level on here. Now, a lot of people will not use flat washer and lock washer with screws, wood screws. But I'm putting it on metal, and the hole is just the size of, I mean, the head will fit on there, but I like to have a lot more surface area for support, and I know that the lock washer will just keep abiding on it even as the wood heats, you know, expands and contracts and everything. So let me make sure we are level. Right there. All right, right there's level. Let me get the top one on. Right in the center. Oh, I always do that. Oh, these long old, I should pre-drill. I say I should pre-drill every time, but never do. Well, I will take that back. I do sometimes. All right, let me get the next ones on, make sure it's still level. Do the top one so I can make sure I can keep it level. Right on there. Ooh, that was loud. That was loud. I'm so happy with this. So happy. All right, in, level. Let's get this cover on. Right there. That is it, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That looks good. Now the generator, I just got to put the generator right into there, and it's weather tight when it's not in use. I like it. All right, is it level? No, it's not level. Is it level? Yeah, come on, Tim, get it level. Oh goodness, it's kind of hard to see right there. I think that looks level right there. What do y'all think? That look level? I think it looks level. All right, let's get the screws in here. Next. I know these are long screws, but normally I use these for going into studs and stuff like that. I do need to get some smaller ones, but these will be just fine. Hard to see back there. Let me get a little closer. Get a little closer. There we go. Come on now. I don't edit this stuff out either, guys, and that's why my videos are so long. I mean, you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ooh, shining light in my face. Don't point the gun at your face, Tim. It's not a gun, it's a drill. All right, is that still level? It better be. Yep, all right. Now, let's get this on. Okay, this. Oh, I gotta take this off first. Okay. Let me pause this. I gotta go get the screwdriver for this, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna install this with the ground. See the ground? The ground is the angled one up. I always do ground up. So this is twist lock, so it plugs in and twists. So let me just get that started there. That started there. Hold on to it, Tim. Get these going. Yeah, I don't have to get everything set too tight because I'm taking this all apart and getting everything cleaned up. So then I just gotta put that, line that up there. Little bitty screw. Get that started. Y'all like how I do gray? Yeah, so everything's gray. I got gray conduit, gray raceways, gray 200 amp panel, gray fixtures, and white. I like black, gray, and white. I like you know, earth tones, neutrals, nothing flamboyant. All right, so now I told those guys, electricians say, if I was to leave this like this, every electrician in the world would just say, Tim, your electrons won't flow straight. Well, electrons only flow straight if you put everything straight. Now, you can do everything parallel to the earth or perpendicular. I'm a perpendicular electrician. I like everything straight up and down. Okay, now I gotta get my knockout plugs put in there. One for the top. I like to make these, I like to make these straight too. I know it doesn't matter, as long as they're tight. But I think it matters just a little bit, just a little bit. Where's it at there? All right, that one's in, that one's in. Again, I'll take this all apart again here in a minute. The real question is that dry enough for us to mount the Chargeverter? Is dry. Paint is dry. You didn't even have to sit there and watch it. Let's go ahead and get the brackets on here. See, they have the little recessed holes, so I know which side the screws or which side to put it on. Go ahead and get these little bitty. Oh, these are little bitty screws. Little bitty. Ooh, good thing I got a magnetic screwdriver here. Is it gonna work? Yeah, it's gonna work. Oh, that is tight, tight, tight. Come on, where's the hole? There's a hole. Whew. Once you get it going, it's pretty easy. This should be line up. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Oops. Now this, guys, is not the video for setup and control of your Chargeverter. This will be the installation video. I'll do a setup and control a little bit later. Go over a little more of the control parameter specification, all that stuff. Get in the hole there. Okay, I'll tighten those up. I'm gonna use a little bit bigger Phillips for this. I got one a little bit too small. But let's see if I can read the specifications here. 240 volt max input is 25 amp. 5,120 watt. For 120 volt, 28 amp and 3,050 watt. So basically for 120 volt, 3,050 watt. For 240 volt, 5,120 watts. So 7,500 watt, basically a 5,000 watt bigger generator. You can get probably max current out of this. You got to be careful though. The bulk charging current is 54 volts DC. Minimum charging voltage 43 volts DC. Max charging voltage 57 volts DC. So you can adjust it when you're using it. I do know this: if you're getting a low charge current, increase the voltage, and that will push more current into your batteries. You don't want to start off pushing too much current, right? You start at a lower, closer to the voltage of the battery, and then you can increase it to increase that charge current. Again, I'll go over the operating manual in a different video, okay? But again, the max charging current is 100 amps and operates 14 volts to 130, or 14 degrees Fahrenheit to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, you don't want to charge your lithium batteries below freezing, so don't do that. So let me get a different screwdriver, tighten these up. We'll mount it to the wall. It's gonna look good. I did go over the instructions one last time. As far as the clearances, it just said make sure you have sufficient air clearance for circulation. And you have the fan on, actually, I don't even know if I see it. Yeah, there's fans. There's fans on this end. So I've got, a few inches above, several inches below, and I got tons of room on either side. So I've seen people mount these really tight spaces. Again, the airflow is going to go, in and out the ends. So make sure you have good airflow availability, and you're not also blowing hot air on them. That would be a big no-no. All right, so let's see. Halfway down, 22 inches would be 11 inches. Excuse me. Let me mark 11 inches on here. There's 11 inches. And halfway, that's 13. So that's what, 6.5? 6.5. I'm gonna mark on the front of my Chargeverter, but it's just pencil, so I can get it off. Ugh. Okay. So, I should have done it to the back, shouldn't I? Be a little smarter, Tim. Mark it to that 6.5 on the back. There we go. Because that way I can get it right there. 6.5 on the back. Level. Make sure I can get it level. And come up. I want to get it about halfway on the board too. That should be about right there. So, where's my, right there. So right there, get it level. There. All right, so let's mark these holes. Ooh, stay level. Make sure it's still there. Yep, you're getting this real time, guys. Real time. Actually, a little higher. Right there. A little bit higher on that one. Okay. So let me go ahead and start those screws. Again, I got my concrete screws here. I'm going to go just a little bit lower on this one. Make sure. Yep. Sorry about the noise, guys. All right, get one over here. All right, I did go just a little bit lower, didn't I? Yep. All right, so those, now I should be able to mount it pretty easily. Ooh, this thing is heavy, guys. This little bad boy is heavy. I'll have to look and see how much it weighs. There's a lot of substance to this little bad guy, little guy. I might need my extension on this. I think I will before I tighten anything up. Get this one started, and then I'll go get my extension. Oof. Get it started. All right, let me go get my extension, and I'll be right back. All right, this is a prime example of normally I lay out all my materials, all my tools. I make a list. I think about exactly what I'm going to need throughout the project, and I lay it out all on my workbench, right, or working surface. And then when I need it, I grab it. This time, I said, Tim, I said to myself, Tim, I'm not going to be so anal, right? I'm going to be a little bit wild and reckless. Of course, this is me being wild and reckless. Not very reckless. And here, I cracked my hardy board. I forgot tools throughout the job. Yeah, that's not very very Tim-like, is it? But it'll be all right. Okay, make sure I'm marking. Let me check here. Let's see. 11. Go that way. Yep, right there. 11. Tighten that down. All right. Now I gotta make sure I'm level. I got a little bit of adjustment on this one. Yep, need to go up on this one. All right. Nice and level. All right. Now I can get the bottom ones. Where are they at? Right there. All right. And this one. Don't be looking at my bald spot, guys. I told you, don't do it. Ow. Perfect. All right, clean it up. Oh, guys, that looks amazing. How about we put some cables on it? Start off with the AC in. Plug that bad boy. Oops. Don't like how that sounded. Make sure you get it. There we go. Okay, that locked in place. That locked. Yep. That locked in place. Whew, kind of scared me the way I heard it click like that. And then, okay, twist lock at the top. Put that in there. Twist lock. Okay, got that. Let me go ahead and I will get a hanger for this later. But for now, I'll just put a twisty tie on there. Make sure it all looks nice and presentable. Twisty. I like that. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks real good right there. Okay, now the DC. Take these covers off, and orange into orange. Click. Oh, that snaps in too. And black into black. So there we go. And they have these little clips to remove them, to pull them off. There you go. You just push them in. That makes a nice electrical connection. And then I got these. Now these, where are these going to go? Well, we're going to go right there into that box. That's the problem. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So my plan was, from the last video, take the batteries over here, run them 4 2-aught cables around that conduit into this box right here through that 2-inch hole. Now I've got these two 600 amp bus bars right here, 600 amp. I was going to go positive and negative, right? So from the batteries over here, right, you got a positive bus bar and a negative bus bar. I always have cables 2-aught, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 from here going through that hole right there. Again, we did this all last week. Hopefully you remember that. We saw that. Run those 4 2-aught cables through there, come into here. So all the positive negatives going through that hole, right? And then I would have the 2 positives go to this 600 amp bus bar, and then 2 negatives go through this hole right here. This is metal with a plastic bushing. And come out right there, and then go to this negative bus bar. And then from each of the inverters, this is the battery breaker. Battery cables go through there, plus minus, come down this trough, battery, plus minus, battery, plus minus, and then I will come into here. So what I was going to do was keep plus and minuses in here, and then I was going to take a hole here and bring the pluses in here, right? And then bring the minuses in here, okay? So all the minuses would come in this panel through these holes, all the pluses come in through these holes, and they would just go straight down to the bus. Well, my dad is a retired master electrician. And again, he reminded me of some basic electricity. And it's not really, code says that paired cables must be run in the same conduit, right? So A, B, C of 3-phase, 480 volt. Line and neutral you should run in the same conduit for 120 volt, 240 volt, to two phases, and neutral and ground if you're doing 208. Should all run in the same conduit and through the same hole, especially metal. The reason is inductive loads. Basically, the magnetic field can induce electron flow and cause it to heat. Basically, if you wrap wires around a piece of metal, you can create electromagnet, and that electromagnet can create magnetism. Magnetism can create current, and current creates heat. Okay, sorry to get too deep in that. Well, DC, you can wrap wires or DC wires around a coil and then move the coil, and that will create that same generator action to create electromagnetic field and current. Well, these are 600 amp cables, DC cables. Now, I know the field shouldn't be collapsing and building too much. You know, the solar is pretty consistent, right? And the inverters are pretty consistent in creating their DC. The solar creates DC, the batteries store and then produce DC whenever the solar is gone. So they would be changing directions not very quickly, but if I had cables going through here, through this metal, that would basically create a generator or a motor. Basically a current carrying conductor and a magnetic field, right? And so he said, Tim, you're supposed to have, you know, the positive and negatives, like I was doing here, go through positive and negatives, positive and negatives, positive and negatives come through the same hole. Well, I'd planned on going all positives in here, all negatives in here, all negatives in there, positive and negative in there. I got the battery. I was going to bring, so I don't know. Now the inspector, I put it on the forums, the solar power Facebook forums, the groups, and I got mixed results. Some people said, send it, they'll never know. The other one said, you'll burn your house down, you'll put your eye out. No. So basically it was the extreme. Send it, they'll never know, to you'll burn your power shed down. And a lot of in between too, saying, yeah, you really should, it's good practice, but is it gonna really hurt with that little bit of distance? Probably not. So now guys, I gotta figure out what's gonna happen. How can I redo all that without redoing all that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. I am very happy with how that turned out. This whole room is just, I mean, just super excited. From the mini split to the batteries, to the 200 amp panel, receptacles, the inverters, the raceways, that's an issue. Okay, well, the EG4 Chargeverter, the plugs over there, that all makes me happy. I've got the RSD rapid shutdown out here. I got GFCI. Of course, this huge Chico USA 48 solar panel carport with HowTos bifacial 500 watt bifacial solar panels. Very, very happy with that. The EG4 9,000 BTU mini split to keep it all cool. Very, very happy with that. And of course, we got this Vivor load distribution panel, and now generator connection for the Chargeverter. Yeah, guys, I am tickled pink with how everything's turning out. And hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll come back and I'll see if I can figure out how to fix this DC bus problem. I mean, problems are just part of the journey here off grid, aren't they? But I'm glad you're here with me on this journey. Hopefully you're enjoying every moment of it. Sometimes it's a little better than others, but I know whenever we start that right there, you're going to be excited. But we still got to work on power first, you know. Once I get the this DC bus thing figured out, the next thing is putting old Blue to use. Gotta get this backhoe in operation. That's right, backhoe in operation. I got a little more prep work to do outside before, but we're gonna dig a trench right down there because I gotta put switches. I gotta put PV isolator switches, photovoltaic isolator switches. So we'll have 8 panels and 8 panels, 2 strings coming down to a double pole switch here that will disconnect both the strings. And then we're gonna have one here also for 2 more strings. And I'm gonna put a receptacle right here in power, and then eventually I can tap off that power and put some permanent lights in. Right now I just have these string lights, but I will get permanent lights available. Right now I just want to get a receptacle there, dig a trench over, and I got to put a switch here, and then get rid of all these. Eventually when we power this up, I'll get rid of all these temporary wires that are going. I'm using these solar panels right now. I'm just using these, and they go into my Blue Eddy and my Jackery back there. So guys, it's exciting. It truly is. For me, it's super exciting. Hopefully it's exciting for you if it is. If it is, give it a big old thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe. Always 100% free. Hit that notification bell right down there to be notified anytime a new video comes out on one of our channels. Until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day, and go Ridge Life. Woo!